What's up, everybody? All right, it's part two, and yeah, part one of today's daily sesh. Went ahead and covered, a few thoughts that I had about the school shooting that took place in Florida, and I'm glad that we were able to have a conversation about all that happened there. But check this out. In the wake of the massive shooting that took place in Florida, the white folks, they were busy, kind of getting their ducks in a row, coming up with all the excuses that they could, God, I hate this Black Panther thing. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, so yeah, they had a whole bunch of stuff to discuss and everything like that, or we had a whole bunch of stuff to discuss with respect to the shooting and everything, but okay, now I guess it's time for the Wakanda review or whatever, the Black Panther review and everything. As white folks, they were, getting ready to, let this guy go for killing, 17 other white people and everything like that. We were, getting dressed up and getting ready to show out. I mean, like, I have seen dudes that I mean, like, it was I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of weird to see all of these black people doing, wearing the traditional African garb and everything like that. And usually I feel really good when I see black people wearing, the African garb and everything, but they're putting, dashikis and, African clothes, on the same level as dressing up as Yoda and stormtrooper outfits and, cosplay. And I don't know, man. I guess I gotta, just to put this conversation in full context. I am not a descendant of slaves here in the United States. My family is Nigerian. They come from the country that is called Nigeria. I think at one point in time, my family was, they were citizens of Biafra. You can do the research on that. But no, we're Nigerian. My family's Nigerian. More specifically, we are Igbo. Like my family is an Igbo family and everything. And yeah, anytime I see traditional outfits, worn by us, it's for an occasion. It's usually like a high gravity occasion, like a wedding or a funeral or some sort of, high priced fundraising event. And to see, traditional African clothes, kind of, made into some sort of like a Comic-Con thing. Disturbing. Sorry. Just really, really disturbing. Maybe, and I guess I have to mention that, like my family's, Nigerian or whatever, just so that, if you guys, you're going to take some umbrage with some of the things that I say or some of the, some of the observations that I have. But just understand that, man, Africa isn't fake to me. Africa isn't some sort of like mythical place. It isn't a ride on, the Magic Kingdom tour of Disneyland. It isn't a place that exists in a comic book that was written, by suspected white supremacists. It's a real place with real people, and these people are worth learning about. You know what I mean? We're worth, communicating with and learning about in a real manner. And, I don't mean to get so indignant right off the bat, but just even the cosplay activities that was going on with this, just a little disturbing. Just a little disturbing. I feel like, it feels kind of like if there was a Native American movie that came out, And a bunch of Native Americans, they just started dressing as though they were at the powwow, but they're not at the powwow. They're at the movie theater. They're about to watch, a movie about Indians fighting Indians. They're all getting in their headdresses and everything like that. You notice Native Americans, the few Native Americans that are still around, you notice you don't really see them doing that shit. You know what I mean? You don't really see them, behaving in that way, with relation to their traditional clothing. Now, I'm being asked by Prince Ali, do different patterns have specific meanings? You know what? If there are specific meanings to patterns, I wasn't taught any. I was just taught that, we, kind of go with what looks fly. That has been the standard that I've noticed. Look, African clothes at this point, is like, that's just a style of clothing that you can have. And in fact, you know what? I want to talk about African clothes tomorrow. We're going to have a real deep discussion about African clothes, the market for clothing in Africa, and some of the things that's being done to undermine, traditional African clothing. If you really wanted, if they were really gonna do like a Wakanda type situation with, everybody in Africa and, they're chilling and everything like that, there would be a lot more pictures. There'd be a lot more of them wearing, t-shirts, old t-shirts, man, vintage shit. You know what I mean? Just this otherization of Africans to make it seem like, Africans ain't out here, wearing, contemporary, clothing or, being, stylish in a modern context. Very disturbing, just the otherization of the whole Wakandan thing. You know what I mean? It was just really, really disturbing, but whatever. I mean, like, we lined up and, there was gun violence in the air. We lined up, we showed out. Dudes were playing drums and everything like that. And I noticed, hey, nobody said shit when, all these, suspected white supremacists, they were dressed up like, what were they dressing up as? Nobody said shit when they were dressing up as Harry Potter. Nobody said shit when they were dressing up as stormtroopers and everything like that. And I mean, like, stormtroopers don't exist. Africans do. I'm sorry. It's just, the whole thing is just like, we're all Africans and everything like that. Don't get it twisted, but the costuming, to me, you're not connecting with Africa. It's like you're dressing up as a stormtrooper, except, you're doing it with African clothing. If that makes sense. Sorry, forgive me for being an indignant African. Just looking at this stuff and I'm just like, I don't know about all this. I don't fucking know about all this. Doesn't sit well with me at all. Okay, so yeah, I don't mean to, talk too much shit about that and everything like that, but yeah, that was kind of disturbing, the dressing up and everything like that. Now, as for the actual movie, so I watched it on bootleg. There was no way that you were going to get me to go to no damn theater. And right after they just got done lighting up them bitches all over the country. No, dude, I'm not tempting fate like that. And on top of that, I don't really fuck with Disney too much. So yeah, I went ahead and I saw the movie, but I saw it on bootleg. The copy I got was kind of shitty. I'm gonna be full disclosure. It was kind of shitty. It was the 3D edition, right? filmed with an iPhone, okay, with no 3D glasses on that bitch. So, you know, you just got the mirror, you know, it's kind of off. So, you know, the audio was on point. I heard everything, but, you know, the visuals, and the bootleg, it was all right. It was all right. I'm waiting for the screener to come out. Once that screener comes out, it's a wrap. You don't need to pay to see, Black Panther. You don't need to pay to see it at all. So yeah, I'm waiting for that good bootleg to come out and everything like that. And then you can have it, you can save it, but you know, I'm probably just going to stream the bootleg, you know. But yeah, I took a few notes, about Black Panther. And yeah, so right from the jump, this movie shows you pretty much what it's going to be like. In the Black Panther universe, I guess, or the Marvel universe, I guess, there's still Boko Haram and everything like that. And yeah, so I guess the outset of the movie starts off with them immediately killing a group of black people. I mean, like, we're talking just sneak attack. We're talking black on black violence, just right from the jump. And it doesn't let up. I mean, like, yo, you know, just, we're giving, yeah, I don't even know if I believe in Boko Haram, to be honest. I don't know if I even believe in that shit. But yeah, they had them, you know, lined up, and, you know, they were bad guys with Kalashnikovs, so they had to go. So yeah, Black Panther, he had no qualms about just coming through and dicing up a group of black people. Just, and then, you know, we see Lupita Nyong'o, you know, she's introduced in the outset, and, you know, she's shown as a badass. Now, mind you, the badass type females in these movies are anytime you see, like, you know, women being described as badasses in movies and everything like that, that's probably because they're not really being depicted as women. And that's something that I thought was really, really interesting throughout this movie. The women in this movie were not being portrayed as, you know, kind of traditional women, you know, submissive, you know, feminine type characters. They were, you know, portrayed as badasses who were on par with the guys. And, you know, someone could say, well, you know, hey, this is just Marvel, you know, being inclusive, you know, women, girls power, da 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 da. And, you know, this isn't the first time that, you know, women have had, I mean, like, Marvel has had badass female characters in movies. I remember, Suicide Squad, you know, the movie prominently features, what is that? The one chick, Harley Quinn. And, you know, if you're familiar with the Marvel universe, damn near all girls, you know, are going around calling themselves Harley Quinn. And, you know, everybody was dressing up as her. And, you know, she's, you know, one of the more famous characters, you know, in the female characters in the Marvel universe. You know, she's a badass, but understand something, you know, she's still portrayed as, you know, kind of an object of sexual desire. You know what I mean? She's still portrayed as somebody that is, you know, a woman, that is submissive to a man. You know what I mean? And that man is, Joker. You know, you know, she's a badass. She can kill. She can, you know, do all this other stuff, but she's still a chick. That wasn't the case with these Wakandans. You know, none of the women in this Wakanda situation were portrayed as, you know, submissive females. I mean, like, I think that there was one interaction where, you know, there was one of the women, she was communicating with, you know, her husband or something like that. And the Wakandan says, you know, my love. And this was how she said it. She was, you know, my love. Yeah, like what he barked out. You know, I think it was supposed to be like a honey type moment or whatever, but my love. Like, what the fuck? What is up with this? All this extra sauce you're putting on the females in this. You know, all the women in this movie, you know, they're all way more aggressive than the guys. Just way more aggressive, way more, wanting to get their point across. There was no diplomacy with these females, no compromise with them. Going extra hard from the jump, badass, just nah. I'm just like, what is this crap? What is this crap? I don't know, man. Women in Africa, check this out. African women make food. They make food. They serve dishes. Dog, you could be, dude, I'll admit it. There's some husky Africans that I've run into throughout my life. Husky African women and everything like that, but they were just as feminine, and by all stretches, they kind of fit the mold of what you would, kind of portray as like a butch type lesbian here in the United States. But it's like, nah, they're still being women. They're still, preparing meals, serving meals, deferring to their husbands, being women. I'm sorry. It's just, I don't mean to say something crazy or anything like that, but these Wakandan, women were portrayed as more manly than the men. They were more down to fight. They were more down to scrap. In fact, I don't even think I've seen a movie that has featured so much intra-gender violence. Throughout this whole movie, the men were fighting the women. I mean, like, physically fighting the women. This was something that was happening a lot. The women were constantly undermining the men's authority. Constantly. There wasn't a scene where a dude, was like Max, especially Black Panther. There's no scene where Black Panther, tells these females to shut the fuck up and fall in line. I'm not saying that that's what leadership sounds like or anything like that. I'm not saying that that's the manliest thing to say, but there was no, there was no back and forth. It was just the women just going in on the internet. Anyway, so yeah, it's just really weird. Sorry, really weird. That was something that it caught my attention immediately. It's just like, man, these chicks are not chicks, bro. These chicks are not being portrayed as like sexy, comic book movie chicks. Even in Star Wars, Rey is, that one, the white girl that they have as the lead for Star Wars. She's one of these badasses and everything like that. But even she is, portrayed with some level of, sexiness and femininity and everything like that. And she's the object of sexual desire and affection by other male characters. Ain't none of that here in Wakanda. It seems like Wakanda is a platonic society. Really, I didn't see any real evidence that, Wakandans, they're on some like we out here fucking type shit. None of the women, Prince Ali says, the women are not marriage material. Nah, they're literally spear chuckers. Which brings me to another thing about this movie. The visuals, the visual style of the film. It was supposed to be African, Afrofuturistic, whatever. And like, what in the fuck? Like that, the costume seemed kind of off. I remember there's a dude in this movie. There's a dude in this movie. He doesn't have a big role or anything like that, but I saw him. He was wearing a suit and a lip plate, and it's just like, dude, black people don't. The lip plate wearing black folks, those are all females. What's a dude in a dude suit wearing a lip plate for? I feel like they just threw a whole bunch of just fucking African shit. They're like, yeah, this is all Africa. Yeah. This is all Africa. Let's put it on a set. Let's make all these black folks look all weird and goofy and silly and call it Africa. Just the plate lip thing is that's just one. You know what I mean? That's just one thing I caught, even in the shitty copy that I had. One thing I caught that was just like visually like, what the fuck are these people up to, man? Like, what is this? All the Wakandan, style of dress and everything like that. Apparently, Wakanda's in East Africa, yet they're all dressed like West Africans. Like, what is that? What the fuck, dude? Look, it's clear that Wakanda is just Africa. That Africa that exists in the minds of, racist white supremacists. Whenever they talk about, Africa, and they talk about it, the one country, Africa. We're all Africans, it doesn't matter, There's no separate, there's all Africa, right? Like, this was just a parody of what, Africa, it's like an Africa parody. That's the style that I would describe. It wasn't Afro-futuristic. It was just Afro-parody. That was what it looked like to me. It looked like cheap imitations of African gear and African clothes. Speaking of imitating Africans, just the whole aesthetic of this film and everything like that. The accents. The accents were just like, as somebody who grew up listening to African accents, I know when I'm listening to like a fake African accent. You know what I mean? I know I'm listening to someone do an impersonation of an African accent as opposed to listening to somebody doing an African accent, speaking with an African accent. And the accents in this movie, and they definitely think that there is an African language called African. Yeah, I know. I know. And the accents in this movie, like, did y'all see Concussion with Will Smith? Where Will Smith, a tall, 6 foot plus, light-skinned African-American dude, where he plays a short, dark-skinned African doctor. That movie. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Yeah, I think they used Will Smith as the vocal coach for this movie. I think Will Smith in Concussion, he was the vocal coach for all the Africans in this movie, because good fucking God. The accent's just fake as shit. Put on. Otherized. I'm sorry, this is just the African other on display. It's just so peculiar to me that so many black people would be like, geeked up about this. Man, this whole thing was just anti-black American. Anti-black people in general, but really anti-black American. Fuck. Whole thing. Right from the outset, when they're introducing and they're introducing the villain, right? Okay, first, I told you when they were introducing Black Panther how he, like, racked up a body count. He got, like, 20, I feel the same way about Idris's fake accent. His African accent or his British accent or his American accent. You know, Idris's American accent, it sounds very British, but, you know, Idris is dope. So we'll let that pass. Let it pass, you know what I mean? Like, I remember The Wire. I remember Stringer Bell. He sound British as fuck. I'm sorry. He sounds like a British doing an American accent. But I'll give Idris way more credit than Jason Statham gets. Jason Statham been playing an American for like 20 years now, and he still sounds like a fucking, you know, pip cheerio Brit in every single fucking role. So I'll give Idris credit and everything like that. But yeah, you know, Chadwick Boseman and everything like that. His little accent, fake as fuck. Just a fake fucking accent. They had the Get Out guy. You know, the Get Out dude. His dark ass was parading around and everything like that. He didn't say shit. His role, he was just getting pushed one way or the other by whatever character was on screen. That was his role, was to agree with whoever the fuck he was talking to at any given point in time. Yeah, all the while wearing that goofy ass sheep herder thing. They put a sheep herder skin on his person. Good God. What stupid fucking costumes. I'm sorry. These guys are oh man. And by the way, I want to you know, see if any of you guys caught this. But, you know, there's an old joke amongst suspected white supremacists. It's probably one of the oldest jokes that they oh, another thing, no one had a last name in the movie. Oh yeah, fucking primitive. Dude, the whole thing was just, oh yeah, speaking of, you know, the politics in Wakanda are decided by combat. All the political decisions are decided by a Mandingo fight. So yeah, Black Panther, just after he gets done killing scores of Africans in the opening scene, what's the next scene? Well, he has to Mandingo fight another black person. And yeah, oh yeah, these fights are just so, I mean, like, these are the same, they must have had the same stunt coordinator from Django Unchained. Because that's what all the fights seem to be inspired by. You know, because we've seen fights on camera of black people fighting, you know, like, you know, boxing and stuff like that. We've seen all those types of fights. We've seen black people fighting, you know, gunning at each other, arguing, beefing with each other and everything like that. But it's so rare in movies that I see this, you know, this is a specific thing I see in movies these days, especially after Django, is the fight when they pit two black people to fight one another. And then the fighting seems real visceral. You know what I mean? You get to see them, you know, like really grabbing the fuck out of each other, like real sweat fighting. You know what I mean? It isn't like, you know, kung fu, you know, where they, you know, clean hits and everything like that. And it isn't the type of fighting where they give to white dudes, where it's like, you know, a lot of fist strikes and everything like that. You know, whenever they get two black people fighting in these movies, you know, they get the camera really close. You can see the muscles. You can see the sweat. You know what I mean? They really Mandingo fight it. It's like Mandingo fights, man. You know, the punches, the hits are really muted. You know what I mean? It seems more real. That's like one of the few things that they kind of try to make more true life when black people are doing it on screen is fighting. That's just something that I've noticed. I don't know if any of y'all have noticed this in movies, just, please mention it so that I don't feel crazy. I just feel like I see, a lot of that hella real focus, on, depicting two black people fighting. So yeah, so all the political decisions in Wakanda are made by combat. You know what I mean? Yo, we're crowning a new king. Well, we have to have a fight about it. You know what I mean? And, this is a motif that is, displayed throughout the whole film. Yes, I mean, like, that's super insulting. First of all, Africa, I don't know if there's too many monarchies in Africa, and I don't even think that, Africans were really too into monarchy to begin with. I mean, like, my people, the Igbo people, who are referenced at the end of the movie, not by name, but, as generic ancestors. But, yeah, the Igbo people are mentioned. And, we had a Republican representative style government. You know what I mean? Like that, Igbo land was, governed, there was an old saying, there is no king of the Igbo people. We have, Ezes and, white people or suspected white supremacists. They got us calling Ezes and, all those distinctive roles. They got us calling them, chiefs in a way to kind of, tribalize or, try to make, thriving nation states and, organized governments into something less than. So, yeah, I mean, like, even when you go to an African fundraiser and, everybody's making decisions, I mean, like, it's not unilateral, it's very rarely unilateral. It's, very democratic. There's, rigorous discussion being had before, decisions are being made and votes are being taken in place. And this behavior is behavior that, goes back hundreds, thousands of years before white supremacists came through and started colonizing the place. So, this whole idea that we have, we make decisions about who runs the show with the same, techniques that chimpanzees use, the same, might makes right, let's fight it out, style of leadership decision that gorillas use. Very insulting. And I caught that. Not a lot of us did. So yeah, the decision making in Wakanda was made by combat. So yeah, these people who are so amped up to fight one another, right? These Wakandans, they're also, not wanting to fight anybody else. They're isolationists. You know what I mean? Or that's what they claim, that's, the story that's being given and everything like that. They're isolationists. And, they only fight when we really have to. And we only really have to fight against other black people. Yay! That's the only time we need to scrap, is if these black folks are getting out of line. Never mind the world outside. We Wakandans, we are not fighters. We do not fight for fun. Yeah. Yes, we will try by combat. We will decide by combat, but we are not fighters. We are not fighting anyone who is killing our people. Good fucking God. What a stupid fucking movie. Okay, alright. I'm gonna continue, just going through with my review and everything. Took some notes, and, visually, I talked about how the costumes were kind of funny, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, it didn't as an African person, I don't know. I just, I know what Africans look like when we're showing up and we're dressing up and we're showing out and everything. The not fighters thing was a take on the Adamance tribe. Well, I don't give a fuck. I don't really, they're throwing all these references out, and that's something that I've seen throughout this whole movie. They're doing the same thing with this movie that suspected white supremacists do with whenever they get caught having racist mascots. They would, they'll go ahead and just make up a whole bunch of shit about how some tribe somewhere that you can't cross-check or you can't, confirm or anything like that, how they're cool with it, or this is how they do things, or this is how they are, or whatever. I had so many of these fucking blurs try to explain to me why it's okay to have a black man in a pimp green suit wearing a goddamn lip plate. They were trying to tell me that shit was fucking traditional and everything like that. So, look, man, I feel like that they just made up a whole bunch of shit. Dude, this is just, Africa. Whenever I hear people trying to make excuses or anything like that, what's that? It's a lot of things he dropped as far as gems. He added to show kudos. No. Understand something. Disney made this movie. Disney made very specific requests about how Africans were going to be portrayed in this movie. And, I think it was specifically that the Africans would be portrayed as against other Africans and passive in the face of white supremacists. I think that was a stipulation for this film. I think that, if we go back to, all the pre-writes and rewrites and everything like that, I wouldn't be surprised if the original scripts, were, about how the CIA and the, white supremacists were the bad guys and everything like that. I can only imagine that, in all of the rewrites and all the script writing and everything like that, they were, in the margins of all this manuscript of these screenplays. I'm sure you'll see notes that say, hey, make these people passive. Hey, these people are a little too tough. Hey, dropped as far as gems. Look, let's just, one thing that I hope that we learn, I really hope that we learn, is that anything given to us by white supremacists is crap. Like, honestly, this movie was garbage, dude. This movie was garbage. It was anti-black as fuck. Got here kind of late, bro. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. This is part 2. The first recording that I did was regarding the shooting that took place in Florida. They were gonna put a gay scene in it. You know what? I think they filmed that scene, and I think the movie was gay as fuck. I think that it was very that the movie was gay as fuck, or rather that the lesbian guards were gay as fuck. I think that there was a whole spin-off of the franchise about these homosexual females who are, I guess, secret agents or secret security staff, because hey, black guys can't defend their king or anything like that. We got to put a bunch of tough lesbians, and yeah, I think they tried to portray one of them as heterosexual by making her refer to the Get Out guy as my love. My love. Disgusting. I'm sorry. Disgusting. The movie was crap. And yeah, dude, they filmed that lesbian scene. I'm sure it's in the fucking Blu-rays. You'll see it. You'll see it. You'll see it. It'll be in the extra features. Don't trip. You know, they made a whole lesbian spinoff to the whole, Black Panther thing. So, in the sequels, you're going to see that being portrayed a lot more. A lot more. They weren't going to fuck around with this, with this one. There was a lot of money riding on it. $1 billion was spent making this film and everything like that. And they just wanted to ease that LGBT pipe into up our backside. They wanted to ease it in. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Disney were the ones who put out the, lack of LGBT nonsense out there so that they could justify having it play a far more prominent role in the sequels. And I think that they approved 5 Black Panther sequels. So we'll be seeing more and more of this bullshit. And, and Black Panther will be fighting more and more black people. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What a shitty fucking movie. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Killmonger. Was there an extra ending like the other Marvel movies? I don't know. I'm not a Marvel movie expert. I'm not even a fan of the stuff. I'm loosely familiar with what they do. So, all the extras and everything like that, I wouldn't know. But what I do know is that, they probably filmed that gay shit. They probably filmed that and it's going to be in the DVD extras. Yes. Disney put out a whole comic book series, spin-off about the lesbian, guards. So yeah, we expect to see more of that. By the way, those lesbian guards were by far the most annoying characters in the film. And, but I do respect that, that they were down to ride for the new king or whatever. But, Lupita and her, bedwench buddy or whatever. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. And her buddy there, they went ahead and, they empowered the white man, gave him all the shit. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Get way ahead of myself. Fucking, Killmonger. Okay, so they make him from the home of the real Black Panthers, Oakland, California. He was he was a black kid from Oakland, California who done seen some shit. They don't show exactly what he done seen. They just show him complaining about it. They're just like, what the fuck? I'm living in hell here. People are getting, drugs, pimping, murdering. It fucking sucks, They show him complain about it, but they never show what he's complaining about. You as the viewer, you're just supposed to, take that as, he's just complaining about being black. Which is exactly what they wanted to portray. It wasn't that Killmonger had legitimate grievances. No. The grievances were not legitimate in the movie. They're not legitimate in real life. According to the white supremacists. Complaining about your circumstances and complaining about, all the shit that was stolen. All that stuff. Yeah, man, it's not valid. All of his complaints about, black people being wronged around the world. That is not a problem in Wakanda. What are you talking about, though? Racism? What is racism? And it's funny, they don't even say racism one time in the movie. They have Killmonger, he's upset with white people. Not racist, and it's not that the racists are, the white people are racist or anything like that. It's that they are white. They're white. They don't, and they stole. They don't go into detail or anything like that. I think in the opening scene where they show Killmonger and he's in I think like the Louvre or something he's in the British Royal Museum and he's looking at all the the stolen African artifacts and everything like that. And, there's a little hat tip to the idea that these are stolen artifacts or something like that. But nah, Still, the racists are not portrayed as bad guys. If you remember that scene, right? Killmonger kills the white girl that he was talking to. I mean, like, that was dope. He just offs her. You know what I mean? And when he does kill this white girl, who is, the face at that moment of, British imperialism stealing from Africans, right? The music turns sinister. When T'Challa and Lupita Nyong'o are going around killing just scores of sweaty Africans holding guns. Defense positions! When they're going around. Awesome. Ooh, work. I'm sorry. Like, what is that? I just like it whenever, I'm going to cover up this number, but ooh, get scheduled. We're about to, work. Oh shit. Oh man. So, I think that's the casting director for Black Panther 2. Nah, man. But check this out. So when Killmonger kills the white woman who is sitting over a bunch of stolen artifacts and everything like that, the music goes sinister. And immediately in that moment, it's made clear that the white people are not, the suspected racists. It's cold this week, so what day next week is available to you? Weekend. I think my weekend is free. And Monday? Weekend and Monday? Does that work? Sorry about that. My bad. Sorry about that. My bad. But okay, so the sinister music plays. And Killmonger is a bad guy because he stole stolen artifacts from the British Royal Museum. And this is when, Black Panther is alerted to the existence of vibranium overseas or whatever. And, I think the problem is that the vibranium is gotten by, and the white guy that was running with Killmonger, he was, I think it was like Dr. Claw. I think he was the dude from Inspector Gadget or something like that. And so they caught him or something like that, or they ended up chasing him to, what was that, to North Korea. And, it seemed like, Claw was going to be the bad guy. You know what I mean? But then, it comes about that there's another black dude who's trying to steal vibranium to give to black people to liberate black people. And that's a fucking problem. And, dude, fucking Black Panther ain't having it, dude. They're gonna do all the flips. They're gonna fucking fight they're gonna fly all the way to Korea and everything like that. They gotta stop black people from getting this goddamn vibranium and everything. So I think from there it's established that Claw isn't, or that Claw is the bad guy or whatever, and that T'Challa's dad wasn't able to get him. And then I guess as Claw is trying to escape Korea or something with the vibranium or whatever, I think that he's betrayed by Killmonger, and I guess Killmonger goes ahead and, along with his girlfriend, they kill this guy. And in the process, Killmonger has to kill his girlfriend. And I think it was completely unnecessary to make him kill his girlfriend. But I think what they were trying to do in the film was just establish that Killmonger is a bad black man. He is a bad black individual. He is upset at racism. Bad. He is doing something about it. Bad. He's talking shit to these women. Bad. You know what I mean? He's fighting white people. Bad. You know? His name is Killmonger. Bad. Stupid ass movie. Good fucking God. Stupid ass movie. So yeah, you know, the movie does a lot to establish that Killmonger is a bad dude. You know, they have him talking shit to females. They have him, you know, killing white folks. They have him complaining about racism. And yeah, and this is seen as bad. Black Panther, on the other hand, is a passive individual. He doesn't attack any white people. He works with the CIA, and yeah, he is the good guy. You know, oh, and women are allowed to sway his, you know, decision making one way or the other. Always some woman, you know, making a decision through T'Challa and everything like that. You know, so. There you go. Okay, so, all right. So the gadgets in the film, cool. I like the gadgetry and everything like that. I think that the vibranium suit, I think, is supposed to be like black skin or something like that. I think vibranium is supposed to be like melanin. Like, low key, it just feels like they're trying to equate, you know, this vibranium substance with melanin. You know, it just, you know, the way that the suit acted, you know, it absorbed energy. You know what I mean? It's just weird. It's just, you know, it's just weird. It's clear what they were doing and everything like that. So Killmonger, he's a bad guy. T'Challa, Black Panther, he's the good guy. And, oh, you know, there were some people that were trying to say, oh, well, you know, the movie lets you make a decision on all of that. No, the movie is very clear. Killmonger is the bad guy. And everything that he wants to do is bad. There isn't any sort of debate about that. You know what I mean? He's the bad guy that has to be stopped. He's oppressive. He's evil. He wants to get white people. That's the wrong approach. He's too angry. He's too hostile. His time in the United States has corrupted him. He's not Wakandan. You know, that was something that they would always say, oh, he's not Wakandan, even though he's Wakandan. You know? What else? Yeah, he's not Wakandan. He's a bad black person. What else about Killmonger that just stood out to me? Yo, even in their dream sequences, they did a lot to establish that that Killmonger is Monday 26th. Okay, all right. Okay. Works. All right, just a second here. Even in the dream sequences, they establish visually that Black Panther is a good person, and that what's his name? Killmonger is a bad person. Okay, look at the dream sequence, the difference between the dream sequence color scheme between Black Panther and what is that? And Killmonger. This is a screen. Now that's Killmonger's dream sequence. Notice how dark it is and how you know, menacing it is. He's even wearing a hoodie, which is now, you know, the black uniform of, you know, just that the bad nigger uniform. You know what I mean? Is the hoodie. So, you know, he's bad, and then this is a good person. See, look at all the white, look at all the light colors, you know, And it was funny in that scene in his little dream sequence. They're trying to make him seem like he gives a shit about black people. He's like, wait, why did we leave him? Why don't we help black people? They not Wakandan, bruh. What is this racism? I was waiting for that shit to come out of their mouths. There is no racism in Wakanda. You know, I recently was working with a buddy of mine. I'll call him a buddy. A Zimbabwean fashion designer, good friend of mine, and I was working with him. We were creating looks for a lookbook, and you know, we were shooting some stuff and everything like that. And you know, after our shoot went down, you know, and it was just us, you know, a photographer and the other models, they you know, had left. I was, you know, just talking with him, and he said to me, you know, Kenny, I wanted to tell you, you know, in Zimbabwe, they only tell us that black people are angry. They are so angry and lazy and violent and stupid. Are they stupid? I was so surprised to come to the United States and find that there are so many black people who are smart and hardworking. And the dude sounded like fucking Bill O'Reilly. You know, if you read up what Bill O'Reilly said after he went to Sylvia's in Harlem. You know, he went to Sylvia's in Harlem, and he, you know, and Bill O'Reilly was surprised, and he went to Sylvia's with Al Sharpton. He was surprised that, you know, the black people were carrying on, you know, civilly, you know. He was surprised to find that. That is how my Zimbabwean homie was reacting to the fact that we had, you know, that we were educated black people over here, hardworking black people over here, who just happen to be victims of the most egregious displays of racism. And yeah, he was on that, you know, there is no racism in Zimbabwe. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Doing a little research, and they call, you know, people like my homie freeborn. You know, born after colonialism, born after apartheid, or after, you know. And that confusion is all over the continent over there. All over. The black people on the continent are rife with the confusion. And yeah, this movie does nothing but, you know, exacerbate that. Like low key, yeah. Yeah. Black people argue, fighting black people. Yep. Black American, he's angry, he's upset. Yep. Oh, and he just happens to be from the home of the real Black Panthers. Yeah, you know, they were so angry. They were so angry. Silly, angry black people. Violence isn't the answer. We can't fight these racists. We can't become like them. What the fuck? Fuck out of here. Yeah, y'all can be spear-chucking Africans fighting other Africans, but when it comes to these white folks, no. He is not Wakandan. We cannot give these tools and these resources to the non-Wakandan people worldwide. That is not our way. White man from the CIA comes through. Here are all our secrets. Come lay on this bed and let us heal you, white man. You know, they had the healing a white boy scene. You know what I mean? Oh, good God. Oh, good God. They stay making black people give up life energy to rescue white heroes. By the way, the white guy was the hero in the movie. Not Black Panther. That white CIA agent was the goddamn hero of the movie. He was the one that was putting in the work, and he was the one that they were all working to help out. And I kid you not, man. I kid you not. I'm sorry. Black Panther was one of the worst things that I've ever seen on film. And I'm a dude that I sat through and I watched Birth of a Nation, the real one, the first one. I saw the Nate Parker one, and all of you guys should see it. Beautiful film. One of the most impactful movies. You know, that's a movie that you need to show to your children. Like that movie fucking, god damn, that movie hit hard. Nate Parker, you a beast for that. Yeah, Nate Parker, yeah, he fucking showed out on that film. This shit right here, this fucking Wakanda, this whack bullshit. I can't rock with it, homie. It's insult after insult after insult. This whole movie, I mean, like, yo, if I showed this movie to a bunch of Africans, they would come out thinking that black Americans are the worst people on earth and that they need to click up with Europeans to fight them. Like, it's interesting. The problem that the Wakandans had with Killmonger was that he was an outsider and he wanted to give vibranium weapons to empower black people. Yeah, that was the main problem. The main problem they had with Killmonger, was that he was not Wakandan, and that he was going to give the technology to black people who were going to use it to liberate themselves. They had a fucking problem with this. But the white man who came through, please, you must join us. Please, I made the technology so that it was easier for you to use. I made it American style just for you, white man. Anyone peep that healing scene with the one chick, with T'Challa's sister and the white dude? I thought they were gonna fuck. I really did. I thought that scene was just gonna end in fucking. Maybe I'm sitting here and I'm watching too much goddamn spank bang. But that felt like they were about to fuck, bro. They were helping that white man throughout. They were carrying him, being all nice to him. They would only be like superficially mean to him. You know what I mean? There was one scene where they were saying where the black people were talking about, do we click up against this other black dude, this Killmonger guy? Do we click up against him to help the white guys? And I think the white dude was about to talk, and then they made Ape Man. By the way, I think that character is Ape Man. I think they called him something else in this movie, but I think that was Ape Man. I mean, he literally had the ape on his at his entrance or whatever, at his doorway. So I think that was Ape Man. And Ape Man, once the white dude starts talking, Ape Man and all his guys are like, interrupting and everything like that, acting like fucking idiots, by the way. They didn't cut him off like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? They didn't say, shut the fuck up, white boy. They didn't say, shut the fuck up, you racist piece of shit. Shut the fuck up. Can we just throw this guy off the cliff right now? That's what I would have done. I would have said, shut the fuck up talking to us right now. They didn't say any of that shit. They were acting like dogs. That is, you may not speak, white boy. Just some stupid ooga booga shit that would be loved by a racist, dog. Loved by a racist. Some of these masochistic racists, you know what I mean? They love They love the idea of some ooga booga black man talking shit to them. They love that shit. You know, some of these white supremacists over here, they love getting that shit. They love getting that shit talked to them. I mean, like, what's that? Our good friend Cynthia G. She was what they call a fin dom. Do you know what that is? A fin dom is a chick that, you know, dominates dudes, you know, on a money basis. You know, like, give me money. And then, you know, you call them up and then they say to you, you're a piece of shit. Fuck you. You da-da-da-da-da. You know, all her all of her, you know, counter-racist stuff. I think it low-key has... Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, I think she has her roots as a findom, talking that hot shit to white people who are paying her to, you know, talk shit about white people, you know, for sexual gratification. I mean, like, yo, dude, racists love that shit, man. So, yeah, that whole, you know, ooga booga, you can't talk bullshit. You love that shit. That's some cuckoldery bullshit, man. Yeah, man. What they don't like, what racists do not like, is if you shut them down for real, like intellectually, shutting them down, you know, calmly. If he would have just talked, and then every time he talked, they would have been like, don't speak again. Shut the fuck up. That would be way more entertaining to me, but that, you know, that just wouldn't work for what the effect that they wanted. They wanted a big, dumb, you know, mandingo Negro to boss, you know, and toss a frail white man. You know what I mean? That's some cuckold shit, man. And you know, I'm in Hollywood. Sorry about that. My connection is all weak right now. It's getting kind of finicky and janky and everything like that. My apologies. But yeah, I'll go ahead and continue with the review. So yeah, you know, my man said, yeah, part 2, she's fucking the white dude. Prince Ali, yeah. You know, I think that they're gonna make that character have sex with the white person. I thought that they already did. The way that they were acting throughout the movie and everything like that. They even made Lupita, you know, throughout the film, just cradling this white man. All of them. Angela Bassett, the girl in the red, and Lupita, they're just caping for this white boy. You know what I mean? You know, and Pete, this, you know, when they made Black Panther resurrect, when he was resurrected, Pete, this, he came out of white snow. What the fuck is a black person doing in snow? I have no idea. But the symbolism is not lost on me. That is some symbolism right there. Making the hero, you know, wake up in whiteness, and he comes from his tomb, which is white, and he's back, here to kill the black man, who is destabilizing everything by giving black people power. Mustn't have that. Mustn't have that. You know, the final sequence is a big battle. And it's weird. You know, they say Wakanda is the most advanced, the richest, the most advanced, the most intelligent. If Wakanda is all those things, how come the battle scenes in Wakanda look like some shit that was in fucking Zulu? Why are they using 19th century style fighting techniques? Why are they using fucking spears? Wakanda is the most advanced, is the richest, is the smartest. Miss me with the bullshit. Miss me with the bullshit. Understand something, my fellow victims of racism. Anytime you hear, you know what one of the oldest jokes to white supremacists is? The oldest jokes. is, what do you call a black man with $1 million? You know, what do you call a black man with a PhD? What do you call a black man in a brand new Cadillac? One answer to all these questions. I'll let somebody. Oh, Prince Ali said it. I didn't. Prince Ali says, nigger! And yes! Anytime I hear, oh yeah, you know, yeah, the richest, the smartest. You know, for being the richest and smartest king in the world, they really treat my man from Wakanda like a little bitch. The whole time. Treating him like a little bitch, man. Treating him like a fucking slave. Just talking down to him the whole movie. I've never seen anybody say anything about being a coke-blowing white boy to Tony Stark. Nobody's ever been like, man, shut the fuck up, you fucking coke-snorting, you fucking degenerate piece of shit. Shouldn't you be hanging out with Charlie Sheen, you fucking degenerate? They're calling my man a savage throughout this movie. Anytime the white people are interacting with him, calling him a savage, they're like, oh, I love how the movie took low-key digs on white people. Dog, no, the movie was, anytime he appeared on screen with a white person, oh yeah, he was getting put in his place. Black Panther. Good fucking God. So yeah, that final scene, you know, it's just, you know, gorillas in the mist. You know, they're just having, you know, just a massive Mandingo fight. But this also features the most intergender fighting I've ever seen in a movie ever. I have never seen a movie where black men and black women are depicted as, you know, in active combat against one another, other than in this film. They make Killmonger go ahead and, you know, take out, you know, a few of these, you know, lesbian fighters, lesbian warriors. You know what I mean? They make him take them out and everything like that. They have him killing black women. Just garbage. Just a fucking garbage display. It's like, yeah, they never, you know, they never bring up, you know, they never call Tony Stark or any of these other, they never say Batman, you're a fucking rich, you know, a coke blowing piece of shit. Get the fuck out of my face. You never say any of that stuff to Batman and everything like that. It's always, you're not that honorable. You're not that great. Batman, you're not that awesome. But to T'Challa, you fucking savage. Every other sentence, every other word that comes from these white supremacists is savage. What is this? You are in one, bro. Stop trying so hard. I'm not trying at all. I'm literally in my fucking car talking to you via fucking iPad. Not trying at all, dude. This is easy for me. This is light work. Dude, fucking Black Panther sucked. You know what took effort was sitting through that shitty movie. That shit took effort. That shit was hard. Trying to tell me, stop trying so hard. What are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about? I'm saucy. I'm not even wearing fucking shoes right now, dog. Trying hard. What are you talking about? I'm talking about what the fuck I just saw. The Black Panther movie was garbage, bro. The end was bullshit too. The end had a fucking all lives matter speech, goddammit. After all that, yeah, man. After all that fighting and scrapping throughout the movie about trying to keep him out of the hands of outsiders, you know, they're going around, well, we must work with the CIA and MI6 to limit, you know, vibranium, and we will work with the outside world, and, you know, all lives matter. Oh, good fucking God. Holy shit, bro. Holy shit, bro. You done killed the black... Dude, the climax of the movie is that black on black fight, right? And in the midst of the fight, get this, they give... You know, the whole point of the movie was keeping the vibranium out of the hands of outsiders. Most definitely black people, especially black outsiders. But, you know, in the movie, you know, one of the female leads that we were talking about, you know, the one that was all booed up with the white man, you know, it gives the white man one of the vibranium ships, you know, and you know, this white man, he gets in there and he assumes his role as a colonizer, and he's just like, yeah. And he, you know, I made this ship just for you, American style, so you can go and kill Wakandans who are trying to leave Wakanda and to give a technology to black people worldwide. And yo, you can see in the scene that this white dude, this suspected racist, white supremacist, he's literally getting off. He's literally getting off on taking out the ships that are that Killmonger sent to deliver the much needed materials to wage an offensive against racists worldwide. So yeah, I mean like this movie had everything. This movie had white dudes. It had black people helping white dudes get their mojo back. It had black on black crime. It had oh yeah. He was you know, they were doing the whole, you know, off-screen sexual gratification type thing as he's killing. Oh yeah, fucking yeah. I was waiting for a fucking big ass load to appear on screen. Like, Jesus Christ, this dude is fucking getting off, killing all these Wakandans to save Wakanda. Good fucking God. Good fucking God, what an awful movie, man. What an awful movie. Don't show this shit to your kids. Don't show this shit to your kids. All it'll do is confuse them and make them think that Africans don't fuck with them. You know? If I were African, I would walk away. I mean, if I was an African living in Africa, not familiar with black Americans or anything, I would walk away from this movie thinking that black Americans are evil. That they're killmongers. I mean, like, what the fuck? Killmonger had no redeeming aspects, by the way. Black people are doing a lot of mental gymnastics to make it so that he could be perceived as a good guy in the movie. You know, I even saw black people saying that that Black Panther never called Killmonger an enemy. That's a bunch of bullshit. That is a bunch of bullshit. There was a dialogue in the movie when he was talking to Ape Man, I believe. And he referred to Killmonger as their enemy. And Ape Man's like, I don't really fuck with you. You know what I mean? I don't even think that, Black Panther made a compelling case to follow him instead of Killmonger. I don't think he made a case. I just think that these broads were like, we don't like Killmonger. We don't like Killmonger. He wants us to fight white people, and that is not our way in Wakanda. I remember they said, oh man, I remember they described, he is not Wakandan, he is a black. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, black is a pejorative in that movie. Black is used as a pejorative in Black Panther. Good God, what an awful movie, man. Black Panther, yes, Black Panther, Prince Ali, yes, but Black Panther, is on par, and yes, the question was, do you have dual citizenship in Nigeria? Yeah, what the fuck? I'm Gucci. I can buy land. I can open banks. What are you talking about? Like, okay, just a second here. Killmonger. Just a second. I wanna, just so that so the viewers aren't like, Ken, you're making shit up. He never called Killmonger his enemy. I heard them saying that this was a battle between brothers. You know what I mean? Like, what, like, there's just a whole bunch of stupid shit that black people were saying to rationalize the fuckery that was on screen, man. Let's see. Just a second here. Yeah, Black Panther does call Killmonger the enemy in the 8-man dialogue. Here's what I don't think is referred to as the enemy. I don't think white people, racists, or the CIA were referred to as the enemy. I think that they were as, like, little jokes about, that's a white boy. But there was no real discussion about why they are a problem. It's not like they had a problem that vibranium was in the British National Museum. They had a problem that a black person stole from white people. That was the problem. That was the problem that set off all this shit. Black Panther was a garbage-ass movie. I feel bad because we were made to feel so excited about it. I feel bad because, man, Disney spent $1 billion on one of the most sophisticated propaganda tools that you have ever seen. Ever. That was bright, shiny, $1 billion Disney white supremacy on display. Scores of black children are confused now. Scores of black children think that there is a Wakanda out there that they are not included in. This movie otherizes Africa and separates black Americans and African Americans and Africans abroad and here at home and in Africa. It singles out black Americans as some sort of problem. It singles out our struggle against racism, white supremacy. It makes that seem invalid. And it makes it seem like blacks are the real racists and blacks are the real problem. Black Panther is the equivalent of movie Tide Pods. It looks great. It's very attractive to children. But if you consume it, it's fucking poisonous. This shit is garbage. This movie needs to be regarded as garbage. It needs to be regarded as war propaganda. This is some blacks don't fight back type shit. Blacks don't try to click up with each other abroad type shit. This is very sophisticated propaganda. Very sophisticated. And notice this comes in the wake of black people worldwide clicking up with one another, using the internet, communicating with one another. We're building our own platforms. We're finally putting in the work. We're making serious effort to put in the work to finally destroy these white supremacists. And yeah, dude, they're spending untold billions to convince us and to confuse us, to do something else, to look at these things some other way. I'm sorry, I can't stand this Black Panther movie. I think it's one of the worst things that you could show to a child, to an African child. I think that the suspected white supremacists would love this shit. Black on black crime, black people going ooga booga, spear chucking. Oh, and by the way, if Wakanda is such a fucking advanced society, why is it that they were fucking riding on fucking rhinoceroses? When was the last time that you've seen a fucking advanced civilization using fucking animals in combat, apart from maybe dogs in a limited capacity? But when did you see, dude, that was some fucking, dude, what the fuck? Jumanji might even be a more pro-black movie than this fucking Black Panther film. And yo, dude, all you actors that were in it, you know, props to y'all. You got paid your pennies, by the way. None of y'all got paid for real. None of you got paid consummate to what you guys are making for this movie. Y'all made peanuts. But, you know, take your fucking peanuts and everything like that. You know, props to y'all. You know, you guys did your thing. Yada, yada, yada. I'm not here knocking y'all, except for Lupita Nyong'o. You know what I wanted? You know what I wanted so fucking bad? I wanted the white bitch from 12 Years a Slave to make a cameo with that fucking decanter. And I wish, you know, right as she was about to help that white man out, I hope that white lady popped out and said, "No!" Smashed that decanter over her fucking head. That would have been a great cameo. That would have stopped that broad from helping that white man kill all those Wakandans. See, this movie done got me fantasizing about destroying our beloved actresses and actors. Good God. What an evil film. Let's see. Mu Hakim Jr. I finally seen this last night, and white supremacy had their hands behind their backs while the black director made this. I don't think black should be in quotes in your quote. I think director should be in quotes, because I'm not sure if this guy was directing jack shit. I don't know if the writers were writing jack shit. I want to know the white guys that were in charge of all this shit. Black people did not make this. Black people are doing mental gymnastics to make Killmonger seem like the hero. Because, yeah. He was the only one talking about any of the problems that black people actually had. Wakanda was all about distancing yourself from black problems, black people, black anything. Wakanda is an imaginary society that is, boned up on resources and everything like that. Wakanda's a fucking lie. Made up by racist white supremacists. Damn. Another, what is that? Nissan Altima is parked next to mine. And this Nissan Altima, it looks like it's the same year as mine. But it looks like, man, this is a way better Nissan Altima. Sorry about that. They caught me glazed. I was trying to peep like what kind of rims are those? Those are some very tasteful rims. Oh man. A lot of the people having this woke versus 85% beef over this movie, while there's a white woman and Caucasian men sending memes propaganda talking about people beat their ass. Yeah, there was the people making up injuries and everything like that. Look, if you saw the movie, nobody's going to beat up a white person after seeing this movie. This movie would influence you to assist a white person, especially if they're a cop or, or if they're in the CIA or something. You know what I mean? I feel like this movie, all it would do is just encourage black folks to start snitching on one another. He's trying to help black people. This movie is not about going in on white folks, bruh. The white people in this movie are... Yeah. Let's see. Killmonger wanted to deal with the problem of oppression the same way it was enforced, with force. How else? He had a sense of urgency. Time's up. Enough's enough. Right. But Black Panther, there was no timeline to his shit. He just had to stop the other black guy from getting shit. And he had to listen to these dumb broads who are all boyfriends with this white guy by the end of the movie. Oh my God. What a shitty film. What a shitty movie. Do not take your children to see this. Do not take any self-respecting Africans to see this. Do not spend your money on this movie. No, I am not going to be like some of these other commentators and try to say, oh, it was a good movie. It was good for entertainment. No. The movie was garbage. The dialogue, garbage. The accents, garbage. The set design, garbage. The depictions of Africans, just exploitive and garbage. And the overall theme of the movie, black versus black, absolute garbage. I hope that one day, soon, we have the dignity and the self-respect to look at a Black Panther-like presentation and to say, no fucking thanks. No fucking thanks. You know what? This looks like bullshit. I hope our kids, they look back at this Black Panther movie and they say, what a fucking stupid ass movie. What a stupid fucking film. You know what? You know what movie is better than Black Panther? You know what movie is better than Black Panther? Well, movie I just saw a clip from this movie, and it just, it lightened up my spirits and reminded me, it was just like, man, this is a better film than Black Panther. Happy Gilmore. I'm not even an Adam Sandler fan, but I saw a clip of Shooter McGavin screaming, "That says golf! What the fuck?" He was just pissed. He was crying. Red-faced. You know what? There was no red-faced, teeth-gnashing white man in this whole goddamn movie. Even the fucking white boys who got killed, the one white man who got killed, died with swag. He's just like, you niggers. He wasn't made a fool of. He wasn't being mocked or anything like that. Nah. He's like, you fucking nigger. He just died defiantly. Oh man. Yeah, I would rather rewatch Billy Madison. I would rather you show Billy Madison to your children than this film. Just show, a goofy white man running through the education system. That is a more pro-black movie than Black Panther. What else is another pro-black movie? Just a movie that is more pro-black than Black Panther. The Rocky where Apollo Creed dies. That is a more pro-black movie. The black person who died in that movie was more honorable and respectable than any of these bitch-ass Wakandans. Fucking, what's another movie that is just more pro-black than Black Panther? The original Birth of a Nation. Yeah, you can go ahead and play that. And, the images aren't too different. I think Black Panther was very similar to D.W. Griffith's work. Even the battle scene, I don't know if you remember, the original Birth of a Nation had pretty epic battle scenes, especially if you consider the fact that these were filmed, when these were filmed. This was back when I think, New Jersey was still, was Hollywood, as opposed to actually having a Hollywood. I think this was shot in New Jersey or something like that. And yeah, the battles that they had for the Civil War, quite epic. And it looked a lot like the battles that they had for, Black Panther. Just, Napoleonic era style, marching across an open field, Negras, they had Negras in Birth of a Nation. So yeah, that movie was, more pro-black. You know what I mean? You walk away from that movie and you're just like, holy shit, what monsters would make this film? And why do they hate black people so much? I don't think a little kid would get. I don't think a little kid would get that this movie is anti-black. You'd be like, wow, there's only black people and it's got a black cast and it's got black crew, blah blah blah. No. Disney done made one of the most sophisticated propaganda pieces that we have ever seen. This movie will have such a deep impact in the psyches of black folks who would like to produce justice. Oh, Prince Ali, I see you're shouting out the Spook Who Sat by the Door. Yeah, that's an actually pro-black movie. I was listing a whole bunch of movies that were, not really that pro-black by any of the slightest, but still, in their not pro-blackness, they were still more pro-black than goddamn Black Panther. But yeah, if you want to see some pro-black movies, Spook Who Sat by the Door, great movie. You know what's a good movie that is pro-black that a lot of people don't get that is pro-black? Blackfish. A documentary, Blackfish. If you want to see who the fucking problem is, if you want to see the fucking problem try to talk their way out of the fact that they're a bunch of fucking slave holding just deviants going in and jerking off that Tilikum whale, holding them in captivity. That right there is a pro-black movie. It even has the black lead of that movie killing scores of his oppressors. He's goring them out. Ah, Blackfish. I know it's not about black. I know Blackfish is not a black dude per se, but it's about black people. Trust me, the movie is about black people. Blackfish. You need to check that documentary out. Other pro-black movies. The last Planet of the Apes movie was something that, okay, this could be seen as a little pro-black. This is, I actually saw that movie in movie theaters. I actually paid money to see that movie. And they had those chimpanzees. They were going the fuck off against these white folks, against these white supremacist pieces of shit. And then by the end of the movie, the white people caught Negro disease. And they were, they were muttering, stammering, over-violent, brainless monkeys. He was negrified. Yeah. I wish in Planet of the Apes they would have let Koba lead. Planet of the Apes, they do that same shit. They pit two of the chimps against one another, and and they're fighting over who wants to fight white supremacy, and the other person wants to just let it die out on its own, or not fight as hard, or whatever. There's always some sort of dispute that Hollywood likes to promote. The Mandingo fight. And I gotta give props to it's just a really disgusting display. But at the same time, hey, dude, Planet of the Apes, I like that better. I think that was a way more pro-black movie. So yeah, man, that's like 3 hours I've been on and popping and chatting and everything like that. You know what? I'll give you another 30 minutes. I think my stuff is my equipment is starting to malfunction on me. I'm starting to get some disconnection notices and everything like that. But yeah, I'll rock with you for a few more minutes. So yeah, you heard my review of and by the way, the movie, you know, the Wakanda movie, the Black Panther movie. The movie ends with Black Panther, you know, giving the All Lives Matter speech, and then he gives welfare to black people all over the world in the form of community centers. Look, understand something. Only refugees and captive populations are, you know, value and have what they are issued what they call community centers. You know, these are buildings where basic public services should be administered, you know, or basic public services that should be administered on an individual basis. You know, you got to go to there to get a group and everything like that. You can go to your community center and, you know, get all sorts of literature on how you can lead with your man. You know, that's what these community centers were about at one point in time. You know, you built the community center, you send your kids over there, you get the pamphlet about, you know, Planned Parenthood, about how you need to sterilize yourself, and, you know, the community center, you know what I mean? I think the modern community center includes, you know, limited computer access and everything like that. But yeah, community centers. These are things that they give to populations that are on welfare, and you know, it shuts people up. You know what I mean? The community center. So yeah, you know, Wakanda, you know, was you know, putting community centers all over the place instead of giving these people vibranium, and, you know, it's stupid. Yeah, so in short, stupidest movie out, worst film of the year. I do not recommend you showing this to any children. Fuck this movie. You know, when I was a kid, God. Yeah, so when I was a kid, there was a movie called Amistad. I don't know if you guys remember that. I think it was starring Jaimin Hansu. I think he was the lead black dude. And then he said, "Give us free." You know, I think that was the story. And I think it's, you know, it was a white savior flick, a white savior slave flick. And I remember when I was a kid, I brought home Amistad. I brought that movie home. And then I remember, whoa, those dudes are doing heroin. Whoa, that's serious. Anyway, yeah, I remember I brought home Amistad. And I remember I was, you know, part way through the outset where they're showing the slave ships and the, you know, people being herded onto the ships and everything like that. My parents walked in on me watching this, and then they quickly went up to the DVD player or the VCR. I forget what it was back in the day. They went up to it, and then they turned it off and said, "You are not watching this." I was like, what? Because they never censored anything. They never made me stop watching anything. I said, "Nope, not watching this." Oh, man. Did you see the part where T'Challa decided not to kill Claw because the woman said, "Well, don't kill him. The world is watching"? Yeah, so, sorry about that. I keep on getting disconnected. Yeah, did I see that part where he decided not to? I saw the part. Look, the whole movie is garbage. The women in the movie were garbage. The male leads, you know, they were all a bunch of fucking cowards. Yeah, horrible film. I honestly, I seriously implore you not to let your kids watch it. My parents didn't let me watch Amistad. They didn't let me watch a whole bunch of, like, Color Purple, all that stuff. They didn't let me watch any of that garbage. Mostly because, yeah, it was just a really bad depiction of black people, a bad depiction of yourself. My parents were very, 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 very sensitive to about negative images of blackness being on display in my house as we grew up. So, you know, that was one of the few movies that, you know, they cut off. They never let me watch. And in retrospect, you know, I think that was a good move. I think that was a good thing, because, yeah, I can't. Hello? Okay, so check this out. All right, I'm getting a whole bunch of calls, like, and this thing is disconnecting and everything like that. Oh, what? Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just say, yeah, don't let your kids watch this movie. Don't believe in the hype. You know, the hype should have clued you in that this is, you know, kind of bad for us. And yeah, dude, watch something else. You know what I mean? Happy Gilmore is probably a better, more constructive film for a victim of racism to watch than Black Panther. Yes, I'm saying that. Oh, and then yeah, so that about wraps it up for my Black Panther review. Movie is garbage. I got about get the address. Oops. Sorry about that. I'm just, yeah, scheduling some shit. So yeah, that was my thoughts on Black Panther. If you guys have any reactions to that, I will you know, give you guys 15 more minutes or whatever to go ahead and you know, field your questions. We can have any sort of discussion or anything like that. Yeah, if you disagree with my review and everything like that, feel free. You know, I don't care what you guys say. Dude, y'all blurs need to just chill the fuck out. Y'all blurs are kind of fucking us over on this. You guys are making it very, very difficult to get any sort of you know, black constructive anything getting done out here, because we're just not on code, man. You're just too eager to go along with what they give us about ourselves, and we ought to be busy, you know, constructing our own images, making up our own heroes, making up our own legends, our own myths, you know, our own stories for our own kids to enjoy. And I know that that's a, I know that is, you know, people are like, you on some hoteppy shit, da 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 da. You know, you hotep, you pro-black, da da da. No. This movie just underscores why it's so important that we have to tell our own stories with our own narrative from our own perspective. Because Killmonger is a hero, but no, he's is a hero to us. But in that story, he is unmistakably a villain. In that story, black empowerment is unmistakably villainous. In that story, capitulating to white oppressors, the CIA, that's seen as the good move. The white guy is the good guy to help, to heal, to take care of. And the black males are the ones that you have to kill. Yeah, I'm Ken Steele. Just a victim of racism. I'm a little, you know, and I'm not impressed with this Black Panther nonsense. Yeah, and you know, I said I would give you guys a few more minutes, but you know, my technology keeps on fucking up. Maybe the Wakandans can supply me with a new MacBook Pro, complete with what is that? Vibranium. A vibranium connection to the internet so that it doesn't disconnect or anything like that. Or maybe I can get some, you know, a few ounces of vibranium so I can buy myself a new studio from which to broadcast from, right? Anyway, it was great rocking with you all afternoon. You know, what is that? Yeah, well, T'Challa was everything, but, I'm sorry, Moo, you're gonna have to rephrase that. I'm sorry, reading that is a bit, bit tired, a bit challenging. But yeah, so yeah, I'm Ken Steele. It's been real. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I don't have, I don't want to sit here and have to bang out a bunch of emails. Before I bang out these emails and everything like that, I'm going to start another stream really quick, and I'm just going to I'm going to roll one and then roast one. And then if you guys, want to come in and you guys want to talk your shit and everything like that, feel free. That's going to be your chance. He was everything but a nigger. Oh yeah, Black Panther wasn't a nigger. Killmonger was the nigger, right? Anyway, yeah, I'll be on again right now just to blaze. That's all I'm doing on this next broadcast, on this next video. Yes, we covered that moo. He was called a savage throughout the whole film. He was not treated as a king. Yeah. We covered it. Right? I think I covered the entire movie. There may have been one or two things that I missed, but I think I covered that pretty thoroughly. I think my review is about as long as the film.